Hi, happy Sunday. Welcome to our Attack on Titan show. This is our Otaku Talk where we take a deep dive into different anime topics and discussions and shows. And today we're going to be catching up on all the things that have happened in Attack on Titan since we came back for season 4, part 2, the final season. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my co host. Hello.
What's up, y'all? How you doing, Bree?
I'm doing great. Um, we'll just kind of start off with our usual opening things. What have you been watching? How has your week been in viewing?
um, it's been a little lackluster. I haven't been watching as many as I probably have wanted starting off at the beginning of the week, but I did start a couple episodes of
Oh
a
wait,
case study of is it Vanitas?
what are you watching?
A
Vanitas.
case
Oh,
study
I
of
started watching that
Vanitas.
too with the vampires.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get too crazy far. Um, and then somehow I fell on a rewatch binge of Mob Psycho and Shield Hero. I don't
Hmm.
know why. What like it just I was
I'm
just
gonna
laying there
change
and
my
it started
Wi-Fi
playing.
connection. Hold on, give me 1 second. If I disappear and come back, give me one.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I've been watching that. Um, what else? I was talking to Brie earlier.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all know about. Oh, okay, you back?
Am I back? Did I disappear? I thought I disappeared.
No, you good.
Oh, okay. I'm back. All right. Go ahead. You said what episode were you on of
Um,
Vanitas or whatever?
Only like episode 3. Like I
Okay.
started watching it and then something like just made me watch Mob Psycho and that just I only wanted to watch 1 or 2 episodes and I ended up watching the whole the whole second
Dang.
season. It's so good.
I guess
It's so
that's
easy to
good.
binge. It's so easy to binge.
I never finished that show. I started
Really?
it and I really I was enjoying it when I started. I have a piece of hair on my
Mhm.
face, y'all. Hold on. But yeah, I just didn't finish it. I think a lot of times what happens with me is I'll start something and then like I'll forget I was watching it and then start something else. Like
Mhm.
that definitely happens with me with manga. Like if a manga isn't complete and I read it up to where it is, I will
Mhm.
often forget that I was reading it and then forget. So
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
manga I kind of if I start it, I usually end up just binging it until I can't like watching read anymore. I can't think of
Right.
one that I've read recently that I haven't like done all the way through.
But if it's
I have
like, you
a
know how like it's still
mentality.
continuing and it has other parts, like that's what happened to me, like with Attack on Titan,
Mm,
even like I read it up until what was available at the time and then
mhm,
completely forgot to like keep
gotcha.
checking back. So
Yeah,
that's what happens to
it's
me.
you got to go out of your way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hello, technically present.
What's up,
Uh,
man?
let's shock you to come in here. I'm gonna get her because she texted me.
I
Um,
saw I saw she got you got my redemption for bingo
you wanted to see me
on
lose.
the
Look here.
so
Look
bad because
here.
I still got to do this punishment. So
Yeah, she did win our anime bingo on Thursday. We had fun. I could just play anime bingo. I'm getting ready for my old age, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready for that. So, as far as me, I haven't really been watching a lot. I had a busy week, but I made time for the regular shows I watch, and I've been watching like
Mhm.
Raised by Wolves and stuff like that. Which I love. It's a great show. It's sci-fi, but it's really good. And then I was doing my Attack on Titan research the past couple days. So just like rewatching stuff and all that. So that kind of took up the bulk of my between like my Monday shows, because I do
Mhm.
movies on Mondays. It's like I'm watching at least one movie every week. I'm watching My Dress Up Darling and I'm watching whatever we're talking about for here. So that like already sucks up a chunk of like my watch hour. So it's just
Right.
watching stuff related to this and then rewatching our shows and editing them and all that. So watch time is hard to come across these days.
Right. You be busy too. Like looking out, you've been doing really good on this channel too. You've been putting in
Oh,
some
thank
blood, sweat, and
you.
tears.
I be trying, you know what I'm saying? Salute. I was whining to my older brother who's a graphic design artist, like, how do you stop yourself from hating what you did 2 weeks ago? Like, is there a way to like, so I won't feel the need to redo all my thumbnails every 2 weeks? Like, can you help me out here? So, that's what I
I
go
mean, it's
through.
a work in progress. Everything is
It is.
constantly elevating.
Yeah, that's how it is. But so we said our hello to everybody in the chat. Welcome to our Attack on Titan show. I'm gonna say spoiler warning this one time. Okay. You know how I feel about spoiler warnings. Like we don't do that. We be telling all the stuff over here. Okay. So look, because
All
for
the
me,
tea.
I don't care about spoilers. How do you feel about spoilers? Does it ruin the watch for you?
It depends on how emotionally invested I am. Like if I
Okay.
like with Slime, I don't know what is with that show. I was obsessed and I was entrenched. And I didn't want to know no spoilers until I got to the very end. It's something about I don't know, like if I know what's gonna happen, then I'll just sit there picking it apart the entire show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Leading up to it. If I don't know, then I'm on the journey. So if I'm like so with an anime, I don't care about
Mm-hmm.
spoilers. Fine,
Yeah.
whatever. But if I'm like deep in it, I don't want to know.
I can see that. Like with Demon Slayer, I definitely did not. I don't want to know. Period. I don't
Hmm.
want to know. But like with this, I read spoilers for Attack on Titan, but I didn't get into the details, so I still feel like there is room for surprises in there. So that's
Hmm.
kind of the level of spoiler I like. Like, okay, I kind of know what happens, but I don't know how it happens,
Yeah,
and I
you
think
don't know the
that's
full journey.
yeah, but we doing that kind of spoiler. So if you don't want to know the full journey, just come back when you caught up. Aaron's not the
Hmm.
hero you want, but he's the hero you need. Exactly. We're gonna get into that. And
Yeah. What's
anti,
up?
I
What
love a good
trash can
anti-hero.
waves? I
Yes,
like
he is a fan of we call him Ocean Waves sometimes, but you could be trash
that.
can waves on here. So that being started, said we'll get started on our Attack on Titan discussion. Who there is so much here, like
Because we really haven't been diving in on Sundays.
no, I
That was
think
more
maybe we
after
should
we air.
start with initial reactions, like how you feel about Attack on Titan as a whole, and then like how you feel about this current season.
Um, as a whole, it's in my top 5 of all time. It's little not in the grand scheme of things, there's little to complain about for me.
Hmm.
Um, I've just been enjoying it. It like season 3 was a little bit of a sleeper. Depends on how like involved you were with the story and the plot setup and all that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
this season 4, like ever since the intro to Marley and seeing a lot of these scenes and these characters get brought to life in the anime, I
Uh,
love it. I love it so
Foot
much.
on neck, season
And
4.
let's give a round of applause for the advancement in the CGI
Hmm.
because some of that CGI in the past was just cringe worthy, but this was a good mix
Yeah.
of animation and CGI. So
And like watching the old
thumbs
episodes
up to
back
them.
too, it definitely when did it switch studio? Didn't it switch studios?
They switched studios. Was it after the first or after the second season?
I feel like it was after the second. Was it?
Yeah,
Or was it? It
because
wasn't between third and fourth.
Studio Mappa was doing the third season, right?
Okay.
And then I
Who
think they're not still doing it now. Who's doing it
is
now?
Mappa still doing it? No, right?
Well, I was about to say
Uh,
Ufotable.
now. I was looking at the first season. I was rewatching the first season. I'm like, oh, some of this line heaviness, honey. Like,
And that's
ooh,
why I love the transition from going when they were younger and having the more cartoonish, thicker lines, and then when they
yeah,
grew up, that kind of just went out the
yeah.
window. I don't know
It
if that was a
definitely. I don't know
conscious
if it was
choice,
on purpose, but I know that line thickness was
right?
really taking me there. I was like, if this line got any freaking thicker, oh my god. I just was like, I did not like it. Let's see what Trash Can Way said. I don't like that we don't know who's really pulling the strings. Is it Eren, or since all their brains link, could it be someone from way back continuing to pull the strings? That is an interesting question,
I
and
think honestly, what? Well, go ahead.
I
What you about
think
to say?
I wanted to say my reaction to the season first before we get into that because I feel like it's gonna
Okay.
take us into what we want to talk about really. But we always try to get our reactions and reviews of the current season out the way. That way, if somebody just want to come and see what do they think of this season, they could get that
Hmm.
early before we get into our deep stuff. So I want to
Oh,
say I'm really go ahead.
real quick, it was Wit Studio that started, and then
Okay.
Studio Mappa took over.
Okay, so it's still Mappa. Yeah.
Hmm.
I definitely like this season. It's giving what I wanted, but it's like hard to how could you mess this up really? This is the culmination of everything.
Yeah.
So if as long as they stay true to the source material like they done it can't be anything but amazing because it's just such a good story.
Right.
So that's how I feel about this season. It's giving what it's supposed to give. And Attack on Titan as a story, I definitely did not appreciate how much of a masterpiece. I kind of slick had beef with Attack on Titan at first because of that long ass hiatus they did.
After
I
season
had
one,
beef for a minute, almost to the point where I was like, I hate you. I hate
I thought
y'all.
it
I
wasn't
hate
coming
y'all.
back. To be honest,
I
I
did
gave up.
too.
It's like a
And
Rihanna album.
I'm so glad it was like an X that like came back, yeah, like a Rihanna album, or like that Normani album, right? That we right soon. Okay,
Yeah, she
so
better be lucky we ain't got a music section on here.
it's
Because
like
the
don't
way
get
I'm
me
ready to
started.
drag her team.
Don't get me started. But yeah, I definitely was slow to get back into it. I was a little
Hmm.
hesitant because I was kind of also scared they weren't gonna finish it. Like after that, I was like, I don't really know. But yeah, it's a masterpiece. Like getting to the end and like reading and just seeing it's wow. Like
Yeah,
it's up there with
in
like
game is where it's at. In game is
yeah,
definitely where it's at.
yeah. So that is my review. Let's see what trash can weigh. Seems like this was intentionally waited for the culture to develop the gear. Oh, like as far as the time manipulation. Yeah, you
Mm.
gonna have to you gonna jump up here and tell us your theories. You're gonna have to talk. You're gonna have to come up here. Yes, it did delay a lot in anime, but this was
Hmm.
pre-pandemic. They was
Yeah, this
wilding.
was. They ain't got no excuse.
They ain't got no
Yeah,
excuse.
I
They
mean
was
they
wild.
probably did. They probably got some kind of excuse.
I mean, whatever. But
Right.
you hear about the manga artists over there, and the studios work them to death, like literally, and they don't get to go home and see their
Yeah.
families and stuff. So,
Even the stuff that got changed between what aired and the Blu-ray, like
right,
it's so different because it was under such like real
tight.
quick time frames and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the more anime is consumed, the harder they have to work because now it's
Hmm.
not just Japan; it's like worldwide demand for some of these shows, and I just like can
And
imagine.
like we hinted towards the bold outlines and stuff from the more simple designs of the characters and stuff into them being adults,
Mm-hmm.
the line work, their costumes. That this
Right.
last season with their strappy uniforms, hell to animate, but
I bet.
they pulled it off.
I'd be like, but y'all can't put them in some regular
Right, put
some
everybody get a
dickies.
moo with a belt.
Everybody get a
Every-
moo with a belt, some dickies, all these belts. Like y'all wilding. The writers were on strike before the pandemic. They crunch like it. Yeah, they do. I feel really bad for them. If you're not aware of the situation, just educate yourself about what some of these animators are going
They're
through with
going
these
through.
studios. Yeah, so we are sensitive to that, but I'm just glad they finished it. But yes, masterpiece. Um Konnichiwa. Hey Yella. All right, coming in from Twitch. So yeah, we gave our review. Anything else you want to say about this current? It's giving everything it's supposed to give, and it's a
Yeah,
masterpiece
I
in
mean,
my
I'm
two.
still waiting to see these next coming episodes because a lot of stuff still is about to get dropped. Um,
I'm ready to cry.
um, yeah, I
I'm ready
actually
to
don't know. I
cry.
wonder if I like. I wonder if all because the Grisha Yeager running outside flailing around. Is this what you wanted?
I know
Is
they say
this
you
what
got they got to
got me?
you.
That got me because that was some intense like. It's in the portion of the anime where
He want his
everything
damn
just
anime. So American.
he want what.
Yeah. He's talking about he want his anime. He ain't sensitive to their struggles. He want his
Ooh.
anime.
I don't know what
Okay.
y'all gotta do. Get them fingers ready. But yeah, it's
But
just
yeah.
I don't know that I don't know if there's anything. There's probably some stuff that I mean maybe some moments that
No, I mean reading that whole like I think that whole spoiler alert one more time.
might.
Issue 139. I did read that for my research of seeing
Hmm. Hmm.
like and seeing Eren explain everything to Armin and
Oh yeah,
talking
when
about his
they
true feelings and about Mikasa and like what he had to do.
that was
Like
intense.
reading that in the manga, it's like, okay, it's a little emotional, like, damn, that's tough. But
Seeing it,
when they
the
animate it, it's gonna
music, the
have the
score,
music.
yeah,
They
yeah.
about to.
And I'm a softie, so yeah, it might get me. It could.
I definitely think it's gonna get me. So that being said, what's some of the to segue into the fun conversation? I want to ask you, what's one moment that you saw when you saw an anime, it hit different, like animated? I know you said Grisha
Yeah.
hit you.
Uh, we can rewind all the way back to the Annie and Aaron fight
Mm.
after she was discovered. I mean,
Yeah.
we can highlight both of them when they was in the woods and
Oh yeah.
when they was in the middle of that district fighting, because that was some. Ooh, they added so much to the fight. That whole berserker mode that Eren had, that came out
Mm-hmm.
of nowhere, because I don't think he had that in the anime. Like
In the anime.
where he got all like veiny with like it looks like
Oh,
flames or
I
fire or
don't
something.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they
No.
had that in the
Yeah.
anime, and so like I love the addition to that. Just anything maybe spicing these fights up. But
Okay.
though that one sticks to my head because Annie, I'm telling you, if Annie was on the side of good, or if Annie never froze herself, like she would be some like that's she would be right
She
there
was
with
a
Levi,
beast.
right there with Levi. The way she did that turnaround kick with Kenny in the flashback, think that was season 3, and she and her heel cracked that brick. I was like, oh, this girl, she ain't even an Ackerman.
Trash can waste said, the fact that you realized Aaron's mom was killed by the other baby mama. Yeah, that's some regular ass drama right there.
There's a
Like,
spoiler that I'm not. I don't want to give it to Brittany because I want her to
you can tell me it's okay.
really.
Yeah,
The
I'm
whole
not
thing
like that.
about like.
Like for me, it's the art. I'm an artist at
Mhm.
heart, so it's more to it than just
So
knowing it.
this goes into the whole time travel thing with Aaron and the fact that
Mhm.
he was pretty much orchestrating all this. I don't know if you know that portion or not, but the whole thing about she was gonna originally, when she was coming through the walls, the smiling
Uh
Titan,
huh.
she
Yeah,
was
that
gonna
one.
yeah, she was gonna attack Bertolt instead.
Mhm.
But Aaron, knowing what was going to happen, knew that he needed young Aaron to have that drive, that hatred, that
He needed
that
that moment.
motivation. So
Yeah.
he forced Dina to walk past Bertolt and to kill the mama.
Hey,
I was like, what's that one that
I
one
told y'all. I told
meme
you.
with the equations?
Oh yeah,
That's how
it's like
I
I
feel
told
right now.
y'all.
I'm like,
Aaron is the most toxic anime dad ever. Aaron is everybody's daddy. Okay, Aaron's everybody's toxic daddy in this one.
that blew my
He's
mind. To the
he's the
lengths you're willing to go to, like that was your whole thing in the beginning. Like that's why you wanted to kill it, but that's what makes the show so brilliant, is because it explains these people motivations and the reason why they does stuff so brilliantly, and it just makes sense. Now some of the time travel stuff might be a little hinky, but it's still like
I
within
like
the
that it didn't
confines of
make
the
it
world
like
it makes sense.
time travel, and it allows for holes, like because it's really based off memories, like traversing memories and stuff.
Hmm.
And I think that that helps it not be, it's like okay, you know. He read the whole thing. He could have stopped it. And just even when you go back, going back to moments that like hit different once again, seeing Rod Rice turn into that Titan. We talked
Hmm.
about this off air. I took a long hiatus from Attack on Titan. I could not handle it. Nothing hits like season 1. I mean, because when it first came out, like I
That
think
first
season 1 just
episode.
hit different, like, and just like really, I'm an empath, so like I always
Mhm.
put myself in the position of characters, and just watching Attack on Titan and just imagine like I'm just chilling one day thinking that I know my enemy, and then like discovering that my enemy is like all this other stuff, and like us seeing that in season 1 along with
Mhm.
Eren, Armin, everybody was just terrifying.
Yeah, they really took us on a
Like,
journey because for the longest I was like, I thought it was just gonna be the Colossal Titan and all these other Titans, but then when the Armor Titan broke through, I was like, "Oh my god, like they really in some
yeah,
trouble." And then all of a sudden, Annie come out.
that really took me. Like,
Was
and
like,
then realizing she was one of
"Dang!"
them, and then I'm being like, okay, what? And
But
I remember that I it just fucked me up.
I thought I felt so stupid. I felt like the dumbest little person on the planet when I finally read who was the Armor Titan and the Colossal Titan. They all look like them.
They
They
really
just
do.
simply look like them.
They really do.
The
But I
Armor
think we
Titan
were
has
so
his hair.
but I think we were so shocked though. I think that
Yeah,
that's the reality of shock. Like you just can't even like process anything.
when it's right in front of you.
Yeah, you're just like, where did who what is they're intelligent? Wait, what? I,
Right,
they're among us? What?
right.
Like I just remember going through that journey, and like that one with Connie's mom
Oh
was
yeah,
like a titan, and I was just like, What? Why they're transforming them? Who's doing it? Like, I
I'm
just
not
want
gonna lie. I did the first time I saw Kanye's mama. It's so dark, but I did laugh. Like I did. She was
why?
just strung out on the on the house. I'm
Why?
sorry. It's
Trash
dark.
can, do
It's
you want to
stupid.
jump on here? Just let me know. I'll drop the link. But yeah, I mean,
Um.
I think it terrified me. Those huge smiles and like
Mhm.
having not like the consciousness, like it just really um did something to my psyche. I had to take a minute.
Oh, you want to talk about moments that frightened us?
Mhm.
The one and only memory that pops in my head is the Beast Titans introduction.
Oh my god.
That episode was so chilling.
Ooh,
It was
the
it was
Beast
it was
Titan.
all of the unknown, and then all of a sudden he starts
Oh,
talking, and then the
that
way
really
he
took me out. I just remember seeing that and I was like, he talked wait, what is that? Why is he so big?
right,
This nigga talk he talks too,
right,
and that
and he
being
can
like a
control the
huge
Titans.
cliffhanger. Yeah, that's what made me read the manga because I was like, "This the cliffhanger? Y'all can't do that."
Oh yeah, that was the
That
end.
was,
That was the
mhm,
very end, and
and
then
I
the
remember being
next
like,
episode got it too. Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So
it was dirty for that. It was
yeah,
dirty
I
for that.
definitely think I mean, usually, I think I'm not really I read manga, but I'm not one of those hardcore manga people where it's like the manga's always better. It's always kinda like
Mhm.
book versus movie kinda thing.
Right.
Of course, the writing is always, stronger, has more room to expound in ways visual
Mhm.
media does not sometimes.
Yeah.
But I definitely think the animation definitely does it justice and brings a whole 'nother layer to Attack on Titan. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's very one of the few where I just feel like, wow, the anime really
Um, Gabby shooting off Aaron's head. That whole moment versus the manga,
right.
no comparison.
Oh my
The weight,
god.
the weight of that bullet going through his neck, his head just spinning the hell around. Ugh.
It was beautiful, terrifying, but beautiful. I've had moments like that in video games where I thought I was good to
Mhm.
go. I got sniped from across somewhere. I was like, "Oh, okay, we dead now.
You just
Great."
did 3 headshots
They
yourself,
were
and all of a sudden
they
you
one
celebrating.
shot me? Damn, I'm dead. Yes. So, yeah, so those are some yeah, that rise really took me out though.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
that was intense. That was
I c
disgusting seeing
the
all his
face,
innards
I
leaking
just
out, tongue just,
I couldn't do it. I was just like, "Nope. Let me, take a break." So, okay, so we talked about some of the things that translated. If you're in the chat and you've seen it, um, what moments really shook you, you could leave it even if you watch this on a replay, leave it in the comments because we just wanna know.
mhm,
So next and we didn't talk about the rumbling. Do you think the
mhm.
animation did it justice? Did it give you everything you wanted to feel when you watched it?
Yeah, yeah. I love the score behind Attack on Titan so much, and that music when the walls are exploding and
Mm.
everything, and it's just even the underlining music that plays like real low in the background, like when Eric's explaining his plans and everything, it
Oh my
just
god.
adds so much. The rumbling is everything. This is what we've been waiting for. If you have been watching the manga, if you're not just anime only, this is what we have been waiting for.
I mean, you
Like,
can make the argument that since season 1 seeing their eyes, like, in the wall,
oh
which was
yeah,
another moment that really fucked me up.
yeah.
Season 1, like, "Wait, they in the walls too?"
That was a little terrifying too, because I was
That
like,
was a
oh, so
little
they coming to life next episode.
right. Just that fear of, like, "Are they gonna kill us? Like, what's going on?" And, yeah,
Mhm.
and finally getting that payoff now too. So, I think even if you haven't read the manga and you just remember, like, really wanted to know what was up with them dudes in the wall, like, this is
Right.
giving
Well,
all of that.
here you go.
Yes. So I just had to make sure honorable we talked about the rumbling. I loved how like Armin was trying to talk to Mikasa, and it's like when you in the club and somebody try to talk to you, and you like, I can't.
So what are you
What?
doing after this?
Yeah, like
Why
girl,
is he
what?
sending out all the Titans?
And wasn't he really like, it's the rumbling? Yeah, literally. That's why I can't hear you trying to tell me it's the rumbling. We in the rumbling, like yeah, I cannot hear you actually because of the rumbling that we are currently in. Thank you for
Right.
telling me though, just in case I didn't catch that. Yeah.
And I
Niggas were
love
like,
Armin
"What?"
so much. I love Armin so much. The fact that he like, and that's one thing that Attack on Titan does so well, and that's why I originally loved it so much. Because it's not one of those anime you tell somebody just watch like the first 3 episodes. If you don't
No.
like it, no, it's from episode one, baby.
Oh
And
yeah.
the thing about Armin is the show keeps it so their reactions are
Mhm.
real. Like
Yeah.
despair is real. The hopelessness is real, and
Mhm.
Armin always being able to think of something, but it's not always immediate. It's not always when it needs to happen. But like when he was coming to the realization, like, see, Aaron's on our side. And as
Yeah.
he's talking, he's like, but why is he sending all of them?
Um, you
What
said
a
you was bringing
what a
this.
middle
We
wall at?
only need, yeah, like what? Why you got so many though? I'm a little, yeah.
But
He's
that's
so smart.
like I'm sitting here like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what side. What side are you when it comes to the rumbling? Are you
Oh, I'm
Aaron
on
or
Aaron's
are you
side.
fully? But are you
Yeah.
on Aaron's true intention side or his because
Um,
because I like just the straight up black and white plan of the rumbling. Stomp everybody. Kill everybody. They already made it known. They don't F with us.
but
They
at
don't
first it
care
was
about us.
supposed to be originally like he was like everybody but this set people, right?
Well, yeah. So the thing was, it was everybody outside of Paradise,
Right.
which I like. Cool, do it. Let's go. What y'all talking about fighting him? No, let him do what he's. What do y'all want to live in
Right.
fear and all that? But
But
then it
then
became a thing of where he never really planned on killing the entirety of the world, but just like 80% of it, to where they have more time to build
but I think he
defenses and all
wanted
this
to
other
kill
stuff.
more than 80%. Did he get stopped at? No, he stopped at 80. He
No, but the
stopped
thing
at
is, when you think about the Founding Titans' powers, they have the
Mhm.
ability to just simply do anything when it comes to Eldians.
Right.
So Armin did point out at one point, he's like, "Why isn't he stopping us from using our Titans? Like, what? Like he could have the ability right now to just shut us down until this is over,
Right.
but he gave them that free will to be able to stop him,
Yeah.
like as they deem necessary. And I think it was pointed out that he never really had the intention to destroy the entirety of the world,
But I think
just
he was
majority
saying
of
somewhere that it gets muddy for him too because of his connection with all the past holders of the Titan powers and
it.
stuff. He was
Hmm.
saying that like yeah, he knew he didn't have this intention, but there was also this feeling of like it was very muddy for him. Of like was everything he did solely his intention or was it him
Uh,
like kind of taking on like all of those past holders intentions as well. And I
and in
think that was
essence,
kind
him
of why he
truly being free.
yeah, I think that was kind of why he felt like he needed that fail safe. I think ultimately Aaron had faith in his friends and like he knew that they would stop him if he got out of control. But I think
Okay.
he also like from what he said, I think in issue 139, from what he was saying, it was kind of like he could feel that he was kind of lost in it, like lost in the sauce too.
Lost in the
And he
right.
wasn't really sure, yeah, if his Aaron, only his intentions were gonna be the ones that came forward.
Hmm. To the
So I
forefront.
think yeah, so I think that's kind of like yeah, of course, Aaron. That's why I just feel like Aaron ultimately, yeah, I'm completely on his side
Hmm.
because that'll lead us into interesting theories and things that people say about it. People say that Attack on Titan is an exploration of what would have happened. I don't think can you say um that
The N
man with the
word.
funny beard with
Oh,
the
the
N
H
word
word.
and the
I
H
think so.
man? I don't know if
I
you can
don't
say. I
know.
don't think you can say it on. We'll
Let's
just
call him
yeah.
Hillary.
Hillary. Okay, so
Hmm.
Hillary, and what's his gang people's name gonna
uh,
be
I was about to say Navy,
with
but
the
that's
N?
horrible. I don't know.
Uh,
Um, the genociders,
okay, the
Hillary and the
genociders.
genociders.
Okay, Hillary and the genocide or the Hillary posse. We could just call them the posse. The
Mhm.
genociders. But yeah, so a lot of people were saying it's an exploration of what would have happened if Hillary and the genociders would have won World War II.
Right.
These cold names.
I love
And it's the exploration of that. So, with that being said, some people also point out, which you said you didn't realize, which I thought that was interesting that you said you didn't realize. I don't know if I put a picture up of the comparison of so the map of Paradise versus Marley is
Mhm.
Africa and Madagascar.
Yeah, because you pointed out right over my head. I did not even.
Yeah.
You
I'm
said you had
like,
a
let me
picture of
see.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it. But what do you think about that being possible that it's an exploration of what would have happened if they won World War II?
Yeah, there's like I don't agree with that at all. Maybe like I would have to really read somebody's thesis and their theory to see if I completely agree with everything they're saying. But all the pieces are there. Like all of the
Mhm.
pieces are there. There's this group of people who are essentially on the verge of genocide, trying to eliminate their entire ethnicity.
Right.
Um, There even the badges that
Yeah.
the Eldians that the Eldians have to wear to show number one that they are Eldians, but then where they are in that ranking of Eldians, like how the Jewish people, how they made the Jewish people wear those stars, each
Mhm.
star on their arm. I sent you the one that one Marleyan general that
Yeah.
literally is Hillary without the mustache. Like it really
Yeah, you
is.
did. And I was cackling. And I was also saying, yeah, they definitely there's a couple of them that had that likeness in different ways.
Hmm.
But yeah, and they all have German names and it's
Yeah.
clearly German
Oh, the
architecture
intros, the intro.
in the intro. They say stuff
Yeah,
in German, right?
I believe so. But even then, it just I feel like that it's just so heavy handed that the Marleyans are.
Yeah. Can you see that? This picture you kind love the one you sent
I
me.
added a little mustache on there.
Right, yeah, he was sitting here. It was giving it definitely was giving Hillary vibes. Oh, he's in the back.
Mhm.
Okay, let me add. This is Trash Can Waves coming up to talk with us.
Salute, salute.
Hello,
What's up?
hello.
What's up, Waves?
All right, let's see. Y'all have some good conversation going on up here.
Yeah, we
Oh,
talking. So
that's
I want to
exciting.
show y'all the picture of the map, okay? I know I'm like he's really passionate about this. I love getting people who are passionate about
Oh, absolutely.
or know
Ongoing
the
deep
source material
conversation.
very well. Yeah. So we always
Did you know?
welcome that.
Did you realize this thing about what she's about to show me about
The Hitler
Paradise
stuff.
being well
The
that
map.
and but also like
No, we calling him
Paradise
Hillary.
being oh wow that really is
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. So it's upside down though, actually. Isn't it upside down in the show? I think they flipped the picture in this comparison.
I mean but
But in the
regardless
in
they
the
put it the
actual
right way.
manga it's actually the other way. Like this picture is flipped
And
in the
I
manga.
didn't like it either.
You didn't like
Because
it?
the source of all human civilization is once again the white man. I don't like
Well, I think, but that's why I
it.
think it's interesting because of the theory that okay, so you think about like what happened with the real party, Hillary party, right? You think about what really happened, and they were really obsessed with genocide. They were obsessed with human experimentation to create super
Hmm.
soldiers and power. And so if this was a exploration of if they would have won, they would have gone throughout the world and eliminated everybody who they felt were not superior to them. And
Hmm.
there are themes of that in this show of like all the genocidal people. And when I was doing my research, they were saying that like even the belief of the royal family, the Eldians, is similar to Carl Schmidt, who says that you have to create conflict of class within people to keep them in line
Yeah,
and keep them and give them an enemy so that they will stay in line, which is
just
what the
like the French.
Titans would have been.
Hmm.
French
Um
came off cutting people's hands off at one point of time to keep people alive,
yeah,
creating
so
conflict.
that definitely would have happened. And then I was also like wondering like okay, um Rwanda, the whole thing with the genocide in Rwanda started with
Mm.
Belgian, which are in the same area, scientists saying that these people were inferior to these people, and
That's what
essentially it caused them to infight and turn against each other and kill each other. So I'm like, yep, definitely
That's just
sounds
what's
like
happening.
Hutus and
Dang,
Tutsis.
yeah. Like
it's
this
definitely
is a
happening.
direct parallels.
It's not just them. It's all throughout history. This has been happening where one
Right.
Hmm.
side come in and they put a divide between the people, and then they leave, and then they leave the people to deal with that divide. I was
Dang.
laughing.
And that's essentially what. So let's
Overhead.
unpack that.
Mhm.
Like that's essentially
And
what
then you
is
come back for the
happening.
resources.
That's essentially what's happening in Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you
No,
look at
black and white.
Paradise,
That's what it feels like. It is like that was. So I
yeah.
want to say inspiration.
And I actually brought up Rwanda because Marley is where Rwanda is.
Yeah.
hmm
The actual country of Marley would correlate with real life Rwanda, which I thought was also interesting. And they call it Marley, which is like, hmm, hmm.
The amount. That's the thing. The amount of detail that went into story building this, like it was just paced so beautifully because at the beginning we just had the same amount of knowledge that they had in the beginning when they were being
Mm-hmm.
attacked, and then we slowly get these pieces unlocking, but it all just flows into one another. Like I feel like maybe Kenny might have been a little device that they threw it in there just to get some tie some stories together
You see
and
my eyes right now?
yeah, right.
Kenny made me cut my TV off, honey. I was like, I am not interested in that. Where the Titans at? Where
It
the
makes you
Titans at?
it makes you think though, because of all the stuff that really goes on in history. Like I like the Hillary Party, So
Mm-hmm.
when you point out that they were more advanced than us as far as Americans, because they kept
Mm-hmm.
on using their sentences, they was using stuff against the people to develop their technology
Yeah.
even more and more. We was less superior, but then the Pearl Harbor thing happened, and that got us riled up. It's like, what if that could have not
Mm.
happened? What if that could have been prevented? But we needed something to get us riled up enough to compete against all that advanced technology they got and be willing to fight harder
And
enough
then to
to
wrap
win.
that
It's like,
around to this being a Japanese creator telling this story
mm-hmm.
and like almost exploring like what if we didn't get bombed? Like what if my people didn't get bombed to be drugged into this war? Like would it be a
Right,
whole different outcome? So it kind of makes sense that a Japanese author would want to explore that theme.
yeah,
Right.
Because for them, they could like y'all could have just left us out of this, really.
mm-hmm.
Like y'all came over here and bombed us, so that y'all would get the balls to fight. Like y'all could have really just left us out of this.
Yeah. Because if
So
that never happened, then that stuff could have went on and on and on for years and years. If that never touched our soul, and we would never
and
got
Attack on
involved.
Titan is definitely clearly in that time period because even when we saw Eren, what is it? I want to call him Eren Kruger,
Yeah.
but that's
hmm
not his name. It's Cougar or it is Kruger,
I think
right?
it's Kruger. Yeah,
It's Kruger. Okay, so when I saw
talking
Eren
about their
Kruger,
first Aaron.
yeah, the first one, yeah,
hmm
you see the planes and stuff. It totally matches the
Mm-hmm.
time period.
Yeah.
That was. So I just thought that was an interesting.
Shoot, the
Yeah.
weapons and everything too.
Yeah, exactly.
And if
So
Paradia is like America, then if they never fuck with Paradia, then all the Marlians that was facing all that for years and years outside of the walls, they
hmm
would have never got helped by the people inside the walls because we don't know nothing about y'all. We don't even care
mm,
what's going on outside these walls, except what's going on in here till it touches down. And
and
here
they
now
do bring
destroy the whole world with the rumbling.
Yeah, and they do bring up like nationalists, like when Zeke was talking about it, like brainwashing. You see Gabby, you see
hmm
people who grew up in that environment being
Yeah.
like, yeah, they animals. Like, just I was just like, dang,
I
it
thought that
really
was
is.
so ironic though. Of what's his brother's name, Zeke, to be going
Mm-hmm.
on about how Aaron was brainwashed left and right, and I'm like, bro, you the
And he
king of
was,
brainwash. You the
yeah,
king. You got brainwashed from your country, your parents,
man.
and Mr. K Saver.
But is
Like,
that why he was like projecting that on Aaron? And Aaron really like,
Yeah.
I just love the uncomfortable glances that Aaron was given that whole time. Like
during
them
Or,
them flashbacks.
uncomfortable glances, Aaron was just like,
or the realization when he took him down memory lane and he was trying to show him his real father or whatnot. Come to think,
mm,
you just took him to where he about to put this all into the go, all into the
Bruh,
move right now.
talk
It ain't
about
nothing to do with him,
character
Aaron's
development.
like, look,
man.
Like seeing Zeke's journey, watching this dude like actually get brought up right, like not being brainwashed. His dad
ooh,
actually
Yeah,
cares about him. Seeing the slow change of his like emotions and stuff on his face. I give these people an Oscar.
yes.
Like,
And starting
it's
with
so
Zeke
good.
leading them, and then Aaron being like, "Oh, it's your turn to follow me, boo. Come on,
yeah.
yeah, let me show you something now.
Because from
Yeah, I've
this
been
point on,
following you.
he only gets
Yeah,
what he wants.
mm,
Mhm.
it was rough. So, yeah, Aaron is a toxic dad.
And the fact that
Um,
Zeke was still treating Ymir like a slave, and that's your own people right there, but you still
Right.
utilizing her like
Ooh,
she's
but
just a
we
slave.
we gonna get
mm.
into Ymir because
Yes, we're
Yeah.
I
gonna get
got
into
points.
that before, but yeah, definitely seeing Eren. The
Mhm.
memes are great. Seeing Eren show up in other anime, telling characters to do things. If
Oh
y'all haven't seen those memes, please go look at them. Eren
no, they
telling
have been
everybody to
highlight, the highlight of this episode. The one with
right.
Itachi about to kill his parents, and then and then
Eren's
Aaron walk
You
like
ain't
up and
want to
sit
do
next
it.
to him. He's like, "What we coming for? Don't bitch up, bro."
exactly. That's why my running joke is Eren came up to Grisha and said, "I ain't raised you to be that little bitch. You
Itachi,
came here to do. Well,
man,
you gonna see?
Itachi,
I'm gonna
another
see
one
you."
of my favorites.
Yeah,
That's what you
Itachi,
say,
that's another great written
Yeah,
Itachi.
character.
yeah, he's one
Mhm.
of my favorites too.
Yeah. So yes, let's move on. I know you're so ready to talk about Ymir. So all this time in this show, we've been seeing Ymir. I think in season 1, we were
Mm.
seeing like her in the opening and like with the myth the not myth it's just like the art, the art that
Yeah,
tends to come from myths and gods and stuff like
depicting
that. And you
her.
see her. Yeah, so let's talk about first what her depiction of it was. And I do actually
Look
want
like a
y'all to
Jewish person, isn't it?
who
Well, the first depiction of Ymir when they leaning down the ghoul and shit with the long, wrinkly ass nose and shit.
Oh yeah, I
It
know.
looked
Yeah,
like
oh
what
that's
the
oh like what
propaganda to what the the Hillary
what they
party was
said that
putting
they look
out.
like. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I didn't think about that.
come on,
And so the
parallels.
original story they said was that she made a deal with the devil.
Hmm.
Right?
Right.
That I think that was the ongoing thing that she was. And what did they say? Who did they say she was? Can y'all clarify that for me?
Uh,
Who she was or who
What
they
was
said she was.
yeah, like and we're just talking about what we thought up until the point where we saw the truth. But like up until that point, what was the myth of who she was?
I don't know if they actually like dove into like her background really. I think it
Yeah,
was just the pushing the idea that she made this deal with the devil when she needed power or whatever, and she
right,
became this, and the way they showed her like with this huge towering beautiful woman with
Yeah.
the
right.
horn like ushering these other titans at her beck and
Yeah.
call. And
Oh,
I was just so mystified. Yeah, see now they
yeah.
start off with that, and
That's like
then
season 1, yeah, it's like
mhm,
slowly, and then you see the one where she kinda looked like I say Lady Liberty or like the Statue of
yeah,
Liberty almost with the horn, with
exactly.
the lights.
It was
Um,
it was crazy because it kind of depicted like the one who looked like Ymir who first got the small titan
Mhm.
mhm,
that was in the walls because they was praising and worshiping her at one time. The
Yeah,
mm,
Marlin people because she looked like her, and then they traded on her just like the people back in the day did on the real
the
Amir.
regular humor,
They gave
yeah.
her ass up to say they selves, just
yeah,
like
That
the
was
other
so
one
dirty.
because they want
and
Like,
their
you
eyes cut out.
and
Yeah.
the Ymir, she actually looks a lot like this depiction
Hmm.
of the devil that, she made a deal with. I always
well,
thought that it was
it was
interesting.
so ambiguous. I thought it was too, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
what's the coincidence that it would be the same name,
Mhm.
same circumstance? I thought that was her too. I thought it was gonna get some big reveal, like, oh, she never died and she was
Yeah.
still here with us. But now they definitely pulled the wool over my eyes.
But I guess it was like foreshadowing of her true story, like Trash Can was saying, like that
Hmm.
what her fate was the same. And I think it was interesting because we were talking about where does the Titan power actually come
Come
from,
from.
right? Which we don't ever really get. I don't think we ever
Well, we
get
got
a
it now.
true, but we don't know like the being when she fell into the tree
Yeah.
Hmm.
and she fell
Where
into the
did that
water,
come
that
from?
being, we don't know where that being comes from. And I think it's even said that in the show. It was just like nobody
Uh,
really
I
knows.
don't know because they added some new chapters on there,
So
and to
what did
where
they
Aaron they added those new chapters, so it could have been another person from the past that left a spine behind. Because when they showed the tree
mm,
grow over Aaron's body, they made it look like the same tree that she ran
mm,
into afterwards. And if it's a puddle of water there, that's just a leftover Aaron inside there.
spinal fluid.
Leftover
Spinal
Aaron.
fluid. Yeah, that's
little,
what
Leftover
little
Aaron.
Aaron surprise.
your last thing to decompose.
Damn. And you know what? That's actually an interesting theory because
Hmm.
the first episode, I think, it's kind of like almost this
Sorry, still
love
tripping off that
story
little puddle Aaron.
between a little layer, a little left over. I don't like the way they sound. Can you respect my husband, please?
He
The
is an
first
anti-hero.
episode is to you 2,000 years in the future, and he wakes up at that tree.
Right.
And the episode where we get her backstory is from you 2,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So those two episodes are connected. So that one is episode 1, and then Ymir's story. So there's almost like Eren and Ymir always being in communication with each other, or
They can see into the
the
future
begin
as well as the past.
right, almost like that whole idea of God being the Alpha and Omega, or like he knew the ending
Beginning.
from the beginning, and there's like this definite connection to those two, almost like a love story or something, almost.
They made it seem like in those other chapters that eventually Eren's dream failed, but no, it didn't. It's always going to be war. It's always going to be civilization fight against other people. They're going to find a reason to hate each other. So what he did was he succeeded. He protected his people, and then he laid down a seed behind for when the future gets bad enough, like it did in his past, for somebody else to take on the power and protect.
So let's talk about that. Go ahead, Twan, first.
I was about to ask, so because I haven't read the ending recently. Do you remember them? So I remember there was a thing about, is Eren the final attack titan? Like at the end of this series, after we get that chapter with Armin, it's the attack, the sequence is still going on, right? So there will be more colossal titans, there'll be more attack titans, there'll be more founder titans, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm confused as to the future attack on the attack titans possessors, like how they are coming in, because it made sense to me fully when I thought that this was going to be the end of titans, because Eren would be the last one. He would essentially be the strongest attack titan because he has the ability to manipulate people with showing them specific memories and all that type of stuff. But like, where are the future possessors of the attack titan? It's just a little time that popped up, little hole.
I think they will. I think because the founding titan, well, that's the thing about what we were saying about the tree. Like, if Eren, I mean, all of the titans came from that one power that Ymir encountered. So I feel like in that same way, like, couldn't, as long as the founding titan power exists, couldn't all of them still exist?
I think it comes back as it's needed. It comes back at
because
a time of a war and everything. Everybody gonna forget about it. It's like they forgot about a paradia with all they finding coffee and different stuff. They like, where is this coming from? What is this? They don't recognize it.
Well, I don't know if they take breaks though, because isn't that part of the lore? If a titan isn't eaten within those 13 years and that person just dies, then that titan gets passed on to another Eldian at birth.
Well, it moved into the tree though, and the tree grew.
Well, because
maybe the tree is the titan.
It was dormant, right? Because it like wasn't a power that existed in that world as far as the history of them before Ymir.
It's just the fact that the tree looks just like the other tree. I don't know if that's his spinal fluid that got into it.
I think it's the answering the question though. Okay, so there's a lot of biblical like symbolism in this story. Yeah, first we see like Ymir with this apple talking to the devil, which we know calls upon that whole vision of Eve and the serpent in the garden, right? That relates also like talking about Ymir falling into that tree, the tree of life, or the tree, or some say maybe the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Because they did say that little thing was kind of the origination of life, or called life itself, or something like that in the manga.
And the fact that it was in a tree, you know, it's like almost like Eve, her, instead of like having this actual apple, it's like this whole idea of like, you know, in lore in the Bible, lore, they say Eve ate an apple, but people who deeply study the Bible, like, it never said an apple. And the whole idea of what she did with the serpent, what information she got from the serpent, is what changed. Of course, it wasn't actually a thing. So I think even Attack on Titan shows that same kind of thing, where like on the surface it's like, yeah, this girl with this apple making a deal with the devil, but really deep we see now that it was just really her encountering this like power
She was running for her life.
and it was serpentine, right?
Hmm.
Like
Excuse
in
me.
this animation, it looked like a
Yeah,
serpent. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Cinematic.
think
So
it's. Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't think. I don't think it's so much about the apple as far as it is
Yeah.
the choice to take something in. You choosing
Exactly.
to take something, and that's what the apple represents. It's her choice
Right.
to take this in because it wasn't peaceful like this. She was being chased down by dogs and everything else when she ran
Exactly.
into there. And she took the choice to take that in. And then she took the choice to continue to let those people use her after they said, okay,
Which,
I can.
yes, which brings
That
us to
is
that.
my
Right.
biggest gripe. Like
Yeah.
But you don't
I do love
understand?
the beautiful. No, I understand and I don't understand because this is the thing. I love the brains or the thought behind giving us this false story and then presenting us with the truth. But the truth
Right.
is so far outside of my realm of understanding. You are captured at a young age, your entire village destroyed, raped, brutalized, murdered. You get put into slavery. They cut your tongue out because you shouldn't be able to talk. You be in service to this man. All of a sudden, you let a pig out and you're like absolutely ruined. All of a sudden, you get blessed with all these powers. You literally can do anything under the sun, and you drag yourself back to these people, and not only be of service to them, but like literally usher them into this realm of being the most strongest like group of people out there. And even then, you aren't appreciated.
But
That
she
Like
that
got
makes
I
perfect
love.
sense
I don't
though in
get
a
it.
way.
She
I
did it
don't
for
get it.
love. That's
Who
what
did it?
Aaron said.
Oh, that
Aaron
evil
I
said
pig.
don't
she
love.
no, but Aaron said, like in the issue, which maybe this was a later chapter that I was reading, but he said that Ymir, he could feel what Ymir was feeling. And he
Yeah,
said
Mm,
the
yeah.
only way he could describe it was she was in love with
She
that
was in
king.
love.
She was in love with him. And you even see in the backstory, she looking at him kissing this woman. And
Mm-hmm.
like my understanding of it is like, I want that to be me. Like she wanted to be that woman.
hmm. Yeah, because I
And
think she
so,
like she wanted to be beautiful. She wanted to be all this. Yeah, I
yeah.
do
And
see those
so
those threads. It
that
still
gave
doesn't make sense to me though.
women do it
It's
every
like
day.
Well,
They
it's
give
almost
away
like
their
the mind.
women get
power.
their tongue cut off and go back to the man.
It's
Women,
Like,
almost like the mind state you born in though. Because if I grow up
yeah,
in
right.
slavery
that's all you
and all
know.
I know is about being in slavery, then when I finally get
Yeah,
some power, the only thing I can think is I want all the slaves. If I got
no,
all this
yeah,
power, I just want a bunch of slaves now because that's what I see as being in power. So what she
Mm,
saw as in the mind of a slave, she saw people victimized, and by that, the most powerful thing she could be is on the side of this man right here that did all this stuff to her people. Although she had more power and more
right.
capabilities of doing everything because she
But mind you,
had
those
the
people
tree of
say
wisdom.
sold her out. So like, I'm also not
Yeah,
even ready to
yeah,
come
they
that's
save
sold
why
her
I'm
y'all
out.
just
asses
like
either.
Yeah,
I hate to use it, but Ymir, I'm sorry, she just
it's
it makes me
brainwashed.
yeah, and it makes it so sad because I wanted to be like really dig into like this character being this strong like being, but no, she was a little
Just a
feeble. She was a
slave.
little weak minded. She was a
Yeah,
Doing
she
what
had
slave.
to
slaves
learn.
do.
Her identity.
She had to learn because that's all she knew. That's why she looked into
Yeah.
Malika's son's head or whatever when she was having the headaches to see why she fell in love with Eren.
Mm,
Because that's different from what her
yeah.
view of love was. But this is all she know.
Mm.
This is all she know what love is. So she had to relearn. So just like
But
she thought she had to continue being a slave with that sand bucket, moving on until Eren told her,
mhm,
"No, you don't have to
And
do this."
that I will never get over. She
that
built
was like
each and every
brutal.
Titan that has ever existed
Yep.
That's
by
brutal.
herself with that one bucket and some water.
That was brutal to
What?
It's
watch.
a long time too. They said the time is
Yeah.
different.
Well,
So
yeah, like a second in our time is fucking. I mean, sorry, is a
You
million
know,
and
we be
60
cussing over here.
years.
Don't do that.
I'm
We be
just
cussing.
like, I can't like that is literally the definition of you know nothing else but to
right.
work, but to serve.
Mm. This is
And
how it's always
it's
I
just
been.
crazy that
definitely
it took
see.
Aaron all that time for her to finally have eyeballs and emotion.
Hmm.
Yeah, and have her voice in her eyes. And I see like so much with like even biblical sin, like how Eve was the mother of all living, and like it's just like so many parallels, even the whole 2,000 years, like, because we know
Mhm.
they say, like, even in historical texts, we know the Bible, it was like 2,000 years. This is like a big number for like saviors coming along. Like every
Mhm.
2,000 years or so, not only do we change cycles, but we also usually get some savior at that time. So the fact that this took on that 2,000 years of time and
Mm-hmm.
talked about it, and it was like Eren connected to Ymir and like the savior. It's like the true savior or the liberator coming every 2,000 years, you know. And I just see so much connection between them, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it was because it said from to you. The first episode starts with like to you in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and hers was you to from you 2,000 years ago. So it's almost like you said, this whole like across time, this setup so that it's always there and
It
available to
had to
free
happen.
people from oppression.
Because
So
Yeah.
people ain't ready to be free. Like Ymir showed, if you ain't went through the struggle or whatnot, if you ain't went through all that, then as soon as you get a chance to be free, you end up choosing slavery again. So it's
Right.
almost a sign you gotta go through these 2,000 years of wondering before you
Yeah.
condition that you ready to be free. Your mind is set in a way.
damn, that's
And
sad.
will you
That's
bring
deep
yeah
and
you
sad. Like, jeez.
you bring up the Africa thing, they get brainwashed too because those kids, all those soldiers are kids taken from their parents, watch their parents butchered in front of them, but they was conditioned by people to make them think, "Hey, we love you" or whatnot. So they was able to pick up that AK and carry on out the same stuff that happened to their people because they think this is the only way. This is how it is. This is how it go.
Yeah.
Dang, Attack on Titan really trying to, ooh, he really trying to say a word. Like, look at yourself. This is what slaves
Mm-hmm.
do. This is what people do. There will
Yeah.
always be, it was sad to see her just like, she was just a slave
Yeah.
girl who like had
For years.
no autonomy, no voice, no vision.
And you put her
And
next to somebody like Gabby.
right,
Yeah,
right. And so why did it have to be
that's true.
Mikasa that killed? Because Aaron said that Ymir showed him that it had to be Mikasa because it was for her.
Yeah.
Like, why did it have to be Mikasa that killed him for Ymir's sake? Not, it wasn't for Aaron's sake. He
Because
said it was.
Mikasa is like Ymir. Mikasa was like Ymir back then. She want to see somebody choose the other way. Now, is you
Yeah.
gonna
Mhm.
save him like this
I feel
king
that.
I say, or is you gonna be willing to love him enough to kill him like I had to kill him? They
And
showed
it's
it
good.
both ways. If she didn't, if she didn't, it was discontinued,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and they would have had to
And
be.
it was I think it was that bond that you brought up too of her peeking in to, you know, spy, essentially a little spy on Mikasa and Eren. And I
Yeah,
love that they explained that that's where the headaches come from, instead of that BS that Aaron
What
had
Aaron
told
said.
him.
right,
Yeah,
right.
because I
Yeah.
was like,
She
that
was
really
cold
got me too.
blooded.
But that got me too. Like, really, like I felt for Mikasa because I'm like, geez, like finally realizing that the only reason you feel anything or the only purpose you have left here, it feels like, is because of your brain just chemically telling you to do so. Like,
Damn. There's so many like social like
Man,
nuggets that are in this show of like what we're told and conditioned to believe about ourselves. Because when you were
mhm.
saying it, I just like as a woman, I definitely like, damn, I've
I
definitely
mean,
heard that speech
That's
before.
that's
I've definitely
crazy.
heard that speech before.
what's true love anyway? Is true love being with a person although y'all gonna meet y'all demise like Romeo and Juliet? Was true love being I love you enough for you to hate me, for me to go back in the past and make sure all my friends are safe, make sure Mika-san they get taken away and kidnapped and put into slavery, making sure old boy had a family to go to, his boy I forgot his name.
Dang.
I'm gonna pronounce it wrong anyway. The yellow haired dude,
Oh, I mean,
Zeke. Oh,
the
no,
Armin.
Armenian. Yeah,
I mean, I mean,
yeah. So he loved them enough to do that. He loved them enough for them to hate him, and he know he got to be killed after this, after all he did. And he
mhm,
knows that it got to be his friends to be the ones that do it, so the world can accept all these other
mhm,
people as heroes. If you defend me, they're gonna look at you as the
Oof,
enemy, the same as me.
right.
I'm giving the world one enemy, which is
yeah,
I'm marching and having a rumbling. I'm destroying all these places. I'm gonna let the world come together, and y'all gonna be the focal point of the ones who finally stop me. So they're gonna see you as heroes and not attack you.
yeah,
I'm also gonna take away their military and all this other stuff they got going on. So they don't got
Mhm.
time to develop and attack you right away. Y'all got time to get y'all technology up and whatnot.
It's so tragic. They quote Shakespeare in this show, and so you see a lot of like him and Mikasa's love story, like talking like Shakespearean tragedies. Definitely, it's sad. Oh yeah, I think you wanted to talk
It
about
really
that,
did.
Twan. So what was you? I think you said I just put Eren and Mikasa, but you
Oh, well,
said it
yeah.
in a certain way.
I wanted to just ask, how did you feel about their story coming to that ending? That like, did you not, because I don't know if anybody saw that happening the way it did, completely unfolding, but like, how did you feel about her having to be the one to kill him and then sharing that kiss with the beheaded
Mm-hmm.
Aaron at the end? How
I
did you feel
can't
about
blame
that?
her. It's like I think I understand like with when you see the Ymir piece to it and like being full circle, or like when you talk about the sins of the father, generational curses, like a lot of time it does look like that. Like somebody
Hmm.
has to make the different choice, and it's not always the easy choice, but like it kind of sucked. Like I never saw them being together because like even from the beginning I kind of saw Aaron, like you could just tell he had a bigger purpose, and that's just kind of how it is. Like sometimes when you have a bigger purpose, like you don't get the happy ending. Like you don't
Hmm.
get to go chill at the house with your girl and like live a life. Like I just could tell he had this path of sacrifice, and
Hmm.
it kind of sucked. But yeah, her being the one, like I feel like it sucks more for her than him because I think he always understood the assignment. But
Right.
for her, it's like, dang, that's messed up. Like you spend your whole life fighting. And then when there's like the possibility of peace, most people think, oh, I'm gonna go settle down and be with this person I love. But like she don't even get that
Hmm.
option. It kind of sucks.
Right. Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
mean,
sad.
for me, it was more. I didn't want it to fully play out like that. I got those tones of sacrifice, and like, I don't know. A part of me just held out hope that Aaron would have some kind of a good, solid ending, like get the redemption he needs, the revenge.
How? How do you come back from that? Like, and
Well,
he
that
even said
this
that.
is before we get this far into it. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like,
Oh
back
yeah.
when before I got introduced to Levi, like I was a Mikasa stan. I mean,
Right.
because
Levi was badass.
that's the level
Levi.
of badass I know is Mikasa doing the little ninja run behind Eren.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that at this time was my favorite character. So it's watching her like throw everything away for Eren, like go to the ends of the earth for him, and then I was a little irritated with Aaron because I'm like, bruh, like what else you gotta do? Like what else you gotta do? That whole scene when Hans
Mm-hmm.
when he finally died due to the
Yeah.
Smiling Titan, and she literally was sitting there like in tears, like confessing to him and everything, and he was like, hold on, and then like, and then when they go back to fight, I was like, and they never came back to it. And I was just
Yeah,
sitting there
no.
like, ever
Man.
since that episode, I just felt for Mikasa in a different way because I wanted her to get that payoff or to have her feelings acknowledged. And it wasn't up until the whole meeting with Armin, Mikasa, and Aaron when he was telling her all that horrible stuff that
On the
they
beat.
even really like shone light on how she felt or whatever. And I was just like, and then y'all gonna give me this on top of it, telling her he hates her, always has.
He loved her though. He
He
loved
truly
her
did.
because
He
Well,
has
yeah,
say that,
it was
right?
all a lie. It was
yeah,
all a
he
lie.
only gonna live until what 20, 23 years or whatever.
13.
13,
13.
From the
13.
Oh, just
time he get the
13.
power,
So
yeah. And he
Yeah,
he
5 years of that he didn't know. So he only had
yeah,
a
he
year
ain't know
left.
that.
it's true.
So he
Yeah.
he he had it where he was showed her what it be like when they with them, they be on the life of the run and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he did.
But
He did. Yeah,
yeah, he showed her. He loved her now, but he knew
I
he
did
couldn't
like
be
that part.
and stay with her because she'd be in danger after he left. After he
Mhm.
gone, she'd be dangerous. But
We
I
love the
think
boyfriend.
I knew what was gonna happen. I didn't want it to happen because we always want the happy ending in anime, but they ain't what you get with anime. That's what you get with cartoons and shit.
You're right.
But Naruto got me ready for it when I saw what Itachi went through and how his people was manipulated. They turned the scroll and
Mhm.
whatnot, changed the scroll. It had the Uchiha's thinking a different way.
Right.
That if he didn't do what he did to his family, then they'd probably get killed off anyway, and then he'll lose his brother at the same time. His brother would be an enemy of the village. So he loved his brother enough to let his brother like, hey, you can hate me, just hate me. I'm here to save you, and I got to kill all these other people in the village in order to save you and to
Oh,
keep
the
It's a
you safe.
hard
martyrs.
path.
The
But then
martyrs.
it's like also like girl, I just as a woman, I guess when I watch this, I just be like seeing stuff that happens every day. It's not like tragic to me. Like I've seen how so many women who do that in real life. Like
Yeah.
this nigga ain't shit. He has nothing going for him. Like
Mm.
you can see where this ends. Why are you pouring all of your time and energy into this man?
Right.
And he has told you that he ain't that dude. And
Ooh, then
you
told you to your
just
face.
and you just like, no, I'm still gonna follow you. I see it so much. I'm just like, it's actually very realistic. I think some people, I don't know if people have it like that's not realistic, but I'm like, it's very realistic.
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
I
Soccer
mean,
probably desensitized a lot of people to that. I know she did for me. Because I'm like, if you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
he was
just let
ignorant as
Naruto handle this.
hell.
If you don't leave this man alone, I mean, it
just
worked
Man,
out
love,
for
just
her. It worked out
love a
for her.
toxic
But
dude. Just love a toxic dude, and it's like, girl,
but
if you
they
had
got him.
any iota of a brain, what kind of life you gonna have with this man? Like
right, that's the
Man,
he only have
thing.
8 years left, girl.
You over
Like
here working off of and that's the thing. Like, yeah, they spent some time together as a team, Team Seven, but
yeah.
like. You don't know Sasuke. You don't know nothing about this man.
That
Nothing.
motherfucker
But
left
your
his.
you could say the
whole
same for
life
Mikasa.
is wrapped up. Well, at least Mikasa has a more intense,
He saved her. Yeah, he saved
yeah,
her.
I
like
mean,
an
he saved
intense
her, but girl, this
connection.
man got stuff to do.
Man,
Okay, you're just getting in the way. I just feel like Aaron is just like, girl, I can't do
Whoa,
this.
whoa, whoa! Not the slander.
No,
yeah,
I'm
she
not
kind of
saying she
hard
was.
on
Get
I'm
away.
not saying she wasn't useful and she can't hold her own in battle. I ain't say none of that. I just said as far as when a man has a
Emotionally.
mission that's greater than you, like
Mm.
it's never about you. And he don't have room for it to be about you. So if you gonna be with him, and I think she
Ego.
was fine with
But
it.
in
Like
the
I think
end, it was always about her because she
it
had to be the one
was.
to cut that
But
head
but
off.
is that the look like you know what I'm saying? So I think for people to say we wanted the happy ending, I think this is the happy ending. I think Aaron's their
Damn,
love for
that's
each
so sad.
other
That's as
made
good
him
as it get.
yeah, it made him change the world, but it's like in practice, it looks toxic. It's like, girl, I ain't got time for this. Like,
That first kiss could have been with an attached body. That's all I'm saying.
It,
That
girl,
and
first
to
like
think, to think of all the intense situation when they had to kill they commanding officer too when he turned into a titan. That was pretty. They had to rally up the bald headed dude
girl, they
that they
trauma
had to knock
Oh
bonded.
off.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't remember his
he
name. He was
drunk the shit.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
They
Hmm.
just
he
trauma
drunk
bonded,
that
honey. That's trauma
man.
bonding. They didn't have no real. That's trauma bonding. And it's real. Like trauma bonding is real. But like, girl, that's all you had.
His
Okay.
family protect. Nah, you being hard on my girl, man. You get me
I was
concerned.
like,
Because
leave
that's
her
what
Leave me
females
alone.
alone,
need to
man.
see. I'm sorry. As a female, I done had these conversations in real ass life, okay? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Okay, girl, leave him alone. He's great, but like he has a calling and you just get in the way. Could you imagine Aaron was just had some babies with me because she was just at the house stressing him out? Like, girl, I ain't got time for this. What
She
kind
was
of life would
quiet
you
though.
what kind of
Yeah.
life would we
She
about to
ain't
have?
Sakura now. You compare. That's a hard comparison. That's like the
I'm
lowest of
just
the low,
saying.
right?
But that's why I feel
Yeah.
like they had a happy ending. This is the only route that they could have took as
Yeah.
lovers. Like it's a
Yeah.
tragic love story in that way. Like Romeo and Juliet, y'all were never really gonna be together.
Yeah.
It was a
She
catalyst
could
for
have tried to leave
change.
her though.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Catalyst for
You know it was
change.
gonna be
That's
They could have
all
chaos.
that
had
y'all
some nice
romance
little
was.
Ackerman babies, her and Levi.
I
They
think
could have.
Aaron got babies all over the place, honey.
I thought. I
Who
mean, we
Historia
thought for a
baby
long
daddy?
time. That's what I was about to say. Wait, did we ever? Wait,
We
who
don't
was this?
know, dude. They
Did,
never revealed it.
Was it the actual farmer boy or was that a lie?
mm-hmm.
I
Because
feel like it's
she was still
Aaron
pregnant in
for
that
real.
chair when he called everybody to that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
who? Like because
Yeah.
that was a big thing. Like, did Aaron get her pregnant
Well,
or
she said she
was it
got
that
married to
farmer boy?
somebody else. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Who did
they
she
said it
say?
was
Who did she say? When did she get pregnant? Who she
it
said
was
got
a
her
little
pregnant?
farmer. It was a little farmer boy. That's what they
Yeah.
eventually said.
They ain't show his
But
face and stuff.
I feel like
yeah,
I
with
heard in the
her having
wheelchair.
that royal family blood, girl, um, I think that's Aaron, baby.
just them
Is that
leaving it open. Just them leaving it
That's
open
Aaron,
for a
baby.
future.
That's Eren, baby.
Is that why Ackerman was so good at what they did? Is because they had royal blood? I forgot how
No,
they did that.
Ackerman's
Yeah,
was
go ahead.
they were essentially like experimented on with Titan science. So if
Okay.
essentially they're Titans without the
No,
the,
shit.
the bigness,
The
I
transformation.
Yeah.
guess. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. The transformation.
That's Eren, baby. There's a road theory that Gabby's Eren's child, but that don't make sense.
Yeah, that
Timeline
wouldn't
wise,
line up for me
right?
at all.
What?
That
Like,
wouldn't
how
make
would that
sense.
even?
But yeah,
I want to
I
see
can see
that
him being
theory.
Historia baby daddy though.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
royal
I can see that.
families, they about the business. Like, okay, you got what DNA? How does this DNA benefit me? Let's have a baby together. So I could totally see her and Eren having a baby together. Versus some random farmer kid. Girl, bye.
But the way he, but what makes me also not think that is just because of the way he was presenting his feelings for Mikasa to Armin at the end. How he was like, if just seeing her with anybody else, like, of course I want her to be happy, but like I
But it's
wouldn't want
Eren
her.
Yeah,
though.
he
He would
started crying
literally
when he
kill the
thought
whole
about that.
world
Oh, okay, but
to
this is after
save
that, and he was over here
them.
crying like a little
Man.
baby over it.
Yeah, he
But I'm
cried when
saying,
he
but
thought
like
about her
Eren,
being with
he
somebody
does.
else.
But that's what men do. What y'all talking about? Like, I
That's
don't
what
get it.
I'm
Like,
saying.
man,
Put that on,
baby
man.
out here
Nah.
hoeing around town and then let your woman have one affair. It's over. It's a wrap. What y'all talking
Okay,
about?
well, no. Okay, that aspect, yes, is very true in the real world. I don't see that
I don't
for
like to
Aaron,
think about
though.
it.
I don't see that for Aaron. He's
If
all
he
like
had
to
to
think
get
about it.
Historia pregnant for literally logistical purpose, makes sense in the grand scheme of things, I totally don't put that past Eren. Like,
That
what?
was an in vitro baby, if anything. They
That's what I'm
ain't
saying.
actually
Like,
do
however
the
he had to do it,
they
but
ain't
like,
do the do.
he's Grisha Yeager's son. He is
Uh,
him, and I
Mm.
totally see Eren be like, "Yeah, girl, let me
Aaron
go
is
ahead
everybody
and
daddy hurt.
yeah, Eren, everybody daddy." I think that's Eren, baby.
might have knocked it
So
off.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I'm with you. I actually am not convinced that it's not still either. So
Yeah,
that's where
and
I'm
she was
at.
like the only royal left, right,
In Paradise, I believe.
in
Yeah,
Paradise.
yeah.
Well, after
Because
80% of the
he
world was
killed.
killed, she wasn't.
Well, yeah. Now she might be. Yeah,
That's what I'm
now she might
saying.
be.
She got a
Uh,
duty.
but I mean, that's what she doing it because she
Yeah,
about to pump
baby
out a little
factory.
baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Aaron, baby. Okay, well, let's do a little fun question. If you had to
Okay.
pick one of the Titan powers, which one would you pick? We'll start with Trash Can.
Oh man. I would have to be I had to be like Aaron. He had the best Titan. Can I pick more than one? Because Aaron
No,
technically had
no,
more than
no.
one
You got to
Titan
pick
in him.
He is
one.
three.
Nah, you can't be out like Aaron, baby Thanos, absorbing all the
Oh
Titans.
man.
No, you get to pick one.
Not
Pick
baby
one,
Thanos.
baby Thanos.
I had to be the founder Titan then, setting everything up. And had the powers of the founder.
You want to be behind the scenes, manipulating
Yeah.
everybody.
I had
And
to
being
I had to make
being
sure
up
this
under
shit
that
worked
curse
out.
too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I no, because I'm a guy, so I just have to be fucking a lot of women to pass it on. It's different. They
What?
getting
Don't you
You
have to get the
talking about it
spinal
together?
fluid?
they had to eat me at the end. So you know
Yeah.
what? You convinced me. I'm no, I'll be the founder.
You'll be the
Okay.
You gotta
founder
die
Titan.
anyway. Yeah, you gotta die anyway. I might as well be served up on the table.
And
Okay.
you can essentially stop any of them coming at you too.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can do everything with the Founder Titan. That's kind of the.
Okay.
Nobody wanna be the fucking cart titan. I know none
But
of
I'm
y'all
about to
gonna
say,
pick that
who gonna pick
Who don't
shit.
want to be no car Titan?
Who wanna be that's a real slave titan right
not
there.
the card Titan roast?
Uh-uh.
That was the stupidest titan ever.
Why?
Yeah,
Man.
because all it had behind it was its endurance.
Yeah. And it
And
could
did
stay
you see the
longer
Ugly
too.
original
though.
concept of the cart Titan? Because it was originally a
That
dude,
looked fucked up. Yeah.
and it was just a man's
I,
head, and it was the
why it had to
stupidest
be so
thing.
ugly though? That's my question.
It's the ugliest titan, man.
Like
Well,
why?
I'm hands down the
Yeah, which
Warhammer
one you pick?
Titan. Warhammer
Yes.
all the way through and through, 100%.
Why?
Don't F with me because of utility. It's the
Mm-hmm.
utility for me. Like the fact that he can, like when Yelena was trying to get him to use the Warhammer Titan's power and escape underground, like you can traverse
Yeah.
underground with it. You can make any weapon to your like creativity. Like
I don't
it's
know.
just
She was taken out pretty quick though. She got
but
taken out.
that's because you got Eren. You got the main character coming at you. That ain't
Oh
fair.
Hell, you
I
talking
feel
man.
about she
like
got
if
taken out because
somebody
of plot armor?
He
Is that
made
what
the
I hear you
females
yeah,
say?
look like
yeah.
trash if they get the word titan. Y'all trash.
That's the thing, like with the Warhammer in the right hands, you know,
Yeah.
If it was Annie,
A good defense.
If the Warhammer
Oh, if
was
it was
Annie,
Annie.
if the Warhammer was Annie, the show would be over.
they
Yeah.
had to
It
put
just
Annie to
simply would have been
sleep for
over.
Aaron's plot armor. That's how good
Had
she
to,
is. They said we got to put
had
her to
to.
sleep for this plot armor
And
because
that's
she'll
just thinking
drop it.
about if she would have got to experience that 4 year gap
Yeah.
that everybody else did with they Titans and getting
Hmm.
better and more like Armin getting control of his colossal even more, like she would have been a problem. She would have
Is-
been
Yeah,
a problem.
Did they say whether she gonna live longer or not? Because technically she was dormant for 4 years.
yeah. How does that work?
So do she get that 4 years still after she get up?
Nah, I'm pretty sure she not. They don't put no pause button on them 13, but I
Oh
don't
man.
Like
think
you
so
could
because she
drag
was
it out.
still.
She been asleep.
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
was still like alive in the thing, just like
Mm.
the Warhammer when she put herself in that crystal. She could still look around. She could still process stuff. I think with Annie, because she was in it for such a long time, I need to
Yeah.
know the science behind Titans and they eating and whatnot
And that
Hmm.
was
because
another crazy
I'm a
thing
little
too.
curious about how she lasted 4 years, but you know,
Crystallized. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
Because
guess
she
So
it
was
just like
still
it
alive.
seemed like it will put a pause on her
it
then,
seemed like it. I wanted
because even
to.
her body functions don't need to.
I want her to
Yeah,
be with Armin, damn it. Just give her a chance just to be with Armin and
Armin
meet her
slash Bertolt.
parents. Yeah.
slash
Because it
her.
was crazy. Because she looked like she was the toughest one. Like she had it all together.
Yeah,
Even the armor titan looked like he was one of the toughest people. But when you look at their past and how they got there, she wanted to turn back as soon as she got. All right, we done.
yeah.
Yeah,
We can't even do it. I want to go back
I
to
mean,
my family.
she served Reiner up. She messed him
Yeah.
up.
She said,
Like the
yeah,
only reason he caught her is because she thought he was down. She thought he was down for the count. Essentially, I want to say, and then she walked
man.
away and he popped back up. But Annie is the truth. Like she
she is.
really be rivaling. She seemed like she would rival like a Mikasa. I don't know. I ain't gonna give her.
Yeah, she tough as
I mean,
hell.
it would be a good. That's what I was gonna say. If I had to pick one, if I could be like Annie, I'd be the female
I
Titan.
don't know about that blind hair and blue eyes though. I don't know about that
I
blind
was
hair.
if I could be like Annie, I would be the female Titan. I would be Annie. But
I
if
mean,
I
the
had
female
to,
Titan does got some of the. I think there's like three main Titans that branch from the founder, and that's the
mhm,
Attack Titan, the
Mhm. Beast
female
Titan.
Titan,
female
and the
Titan,
Beast Titan. Yeah, because
right?
those are the three that inherently got all these different attributes to
That's
their
what her kids
power.
that ate her. Yeah, her
Yeah,
kids
and
had to eat.
yeah, exactly.
That's
The
what her
kids.
kids got, right?
And I
Yeah,
was
Those
thinking that
three.
the
they made the
kids.
walls after her. That's
Yeah,
what.
I was thinking that because I was originally under the assumption that the only two people that ever had multiple titans was Ymir and Eren. But now I feel like that was originally the three kids. They all have three each. Because when you look at the tree when
Hmm.
it was first brought up, it branched off into three different
Right.
Oh,
branches
so each
and did
child
stuff.
had, and that's where you get
Yeah.
the 9.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
did they tell which one branched off which Titans? Which Titans came from which
Well, then they introduced the flying titan about to get introduced.
Well, yeah, that's a
line?
spoiler alert. That's
Yeah, I don't
what's
know.
his name?
So that's another branch. That's the Zeke's
Well, no,
brother.
the flying titan is a combination. I feel like of the because there was like in during the big battle, Aaron's bringing out all these titans from the past,
Yeah.
and you see the different takes on all the titans in the
Which
past and
Titan
how they
would you
used to
be?
look and everything. I
Colossus.
think it was
He
it,
said,
it
"Hold on,
what
what did you say? Go
I
ahead."
say, he'd be colossal.
He'll
which
be
Yellow.
titan should I
colossal.
be?
Okay, yellow. I said, which one the most ignorant? You gonna be
the big.
which one the most
Dang!
confrontational? He'll probably be an attack titan because he like to fight. So yeah, he probably be attack.
Oh, the jaw titan popping up everywhere.
Yeah, like
Um,
what? But go ahead.
But I
Sorry,
think
it's
the
my bad.
reason that is it Falco, that's his name, which is
Falco. Yeah.
ironic. That's Falco. But I think the reason his jaw titan turned out to be that way because he didn't eat both. He only has the jaw titan. But I think that's because he had Zeke's spinal fluid in him, so it
Hmm.
kind of gave him elements of the beast and jaw titan. You know,
What,
because all the beast
Hmm.
titans were some random ass animal, a
I
horse,
don't know if it's
monkey.
random.
Oh yeah,
Cause do
they're
they
not
got some personal
all.
influence then?
They
Because
got what
Falco
now?
wasn't. Don't they got a little personal influence of how they want their Titan to be? Because didn't Falco like looking at birds or some shit like that? Keep on looking up at the
I
birds.
mean, that's
Mm,
probably an addition to that, but I definitely think it was absolutely the Beast Titan spinal fluid influencing
because
how
it
the
Okay.
because
job
you do
would
get
look.
some kind of like animal like
Yeah.
kind
Cause
of
he played
power or
baseball.
ability.
Yeah, the Beast Titan. His
The beast type.
the one who got him. He liked to play a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
baseball and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
they
It's yeah,
army.
his Titan
I
was
agree
able
with you.
to
I feel
throw.
like it might be a fusion of both their personality traits and their
Yeah.
Titan, what they take in and how they take that in.
That's
I
interesting.
I definitely like Falco's Titan though. I
Why
don't
his
get
neck was so long? Why his neck was so long when he was the type? Why his neck so long?
I really don't know.
Oh man.
You got to
It
ask
was
Ymir on that
big.
one. She the one over here creating more work for herself with these long
It was.
necks.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, this is it was very unsettling. But I also want to talk about before we run out of time,
Mhm.
the opening songs and closing songs. Um, out of the two, which one do you prefer?
For me, definitely the opening.
You like the opening?
I like the opening.
I
What
got
about you, Trey?
ADD. I got ADD, so I'm normally fast forward through all that shit at the
Oh,
beginning to get
what?
to it. But
I'm not
all I
gonna lie.
remember is the da, 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 da. That's all I can think
Oh,
about.
that's the
And
last
then
one.
I
I love
fast
it.
forward that shit.
I love the closing song. But actually, the closing song is his. They say is his love letter to Mikasa.
Okay, I ain't know
Is
that.
Oh,
what
is
it's
it?
saying. Yeah,
Oh, that give me a
it's
little
like
extra. I
That
might
makes me
listen
feel
to it.
bad
it's
for
so
not listening
sweet.
to it.
Yeah, and if you like watch the visuals of it, it's
Mhm.
actually really sad. It's like a perfect song for this last how it ends. And it's haunted.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
that's me being a little transparent. I always usually watch the openings. I rarely watch the endings. I
I
mean,
Why
I
fast
do
does
forward
watch
through
not?
them.
it.
It's a beautiful
I don't
song.
go a whole series and not watch the opening and
Yeah,
the
watch it the
ending.
first
But
time.
like, if I'm binging a 23 episode season, I'm probably gonna watch the opening like the first 2 3 times. I mean, the
Yeah.
closing the first 2 3 times, and then I'm skipping the rest of it unless I
Oh,
notice they
it's
change it.
beautiful. It's actually like one of my favorite songs now. I love it.
You
It's
know who
beautiful.
has my favorite ending?
Who?
Not just from song, but the ending itself is Jujutsu Kaisen. Their ending
Oh,
is
No.
so lit.
it's a
It's
bop.
so good.
That
It's
being
so
said, I have
good.
an anime playlist on this channel. You can go to my playlist. I have an anime playlist that has like 83 songs on it. All of these songs we're talking about are in the playlist. So if you ever just want to listen to some classic anime openings, closings, maybe some you ain't heard, some video game music, check out my playlist.
The only fucking intro I listen to is Bleach. I listen to that motherfucker all day.
Bleach
Bleach
has
That
has
give
such
me
a
hype.
like. Don't make me do an anime OP show.
Oh
We need to do an
man.
anime OP show. Like you just have to talk about anime openings and music like surrounding anime. It's just
Recap
like it
hype.
could be its
Mhm.
own show. Just us
Yeah.
talking about
Whenever
great
somebody
songs.
mentioned Bleach, I just think of them black ladies, them random black ladies. Ooh, yeah. I'm
It's like
like,
why y'all
why
singing
are
so
y'all
Oh
singing this
hard
soul music when this white man
I-
over here, Asian
in the
man?
middle of this fight?
man.
In the middle of this fight.
Uh,
Oh, and then I think you had one more question. You said who should have taken the colossal titan power? I
oh
think you asked
yeah,
me that. You said
I'm
you
gonna bring
wanted
that
to.
to you, trash can. I'm curious. Do you agree with Armin being the colossal titan, or do you think it should have been Erwin?
That shit felt kind of random. But they only needed one leader, so he had to die off. The
Aaron,
Mm, yeah.
one that was
Erwin.
laid on that
Erwin.
they leader,
Erwin.
yeah.
Erwin.
Hmm.
So he
Hmm.
had to die off in order for Eren to take his proper place to where he had to be. If they save, because they had the choice to save even Armin, or they had to save the general that been
Yeah.
leading them that
Hmm.
whole time. But if they saved the general, then our Aaron would be able to move the way he moved to have the influence the way he influenced, because he would have saw what Aaron was doing ahead of time. He
That's
would have
true.
stopped the shit.
But we wouldn't have known that. I'm talking about had me and you been Mikasa and Levi, and we had a
No,
stake in this without knowing the intricacies of the future. Who would you have chosen, or who would you wanted to fight for?
if I was gonna choose one of y'all to be the colossal,
No, no. Out of Armin and out of Erwin, the two candidates for the Colossal Titan at that time.
Right.
You know, when Armin
yeah,
was sitting there burnt to a crisp and
Ooh,
yeah,
Erwin's
child.
missing
the
half
arm,
his side. Yeah. So, who out of
yeah,
those two would you have revived to continue to be the Colossal Titan?
I
My
would do
personal pick, honestly, would have been Erwin. I was obsessed with his character too. Like
He
I
was
just loved
cool.
his drive, his motivations, and the fact that he died before he got to see the basement was so tragic to me.
Yeah,
Like it's the next episode, bruh. Not the next episode, but next episode of
I
two.
mean, yeah, right.
I
I
would have
think they
Like
chose
did
this
that.
man.
I think Armin was a good choice
Yeah, I would have chose
yeah,
for
Armin.
he
the
was a good choice,
way
definitely.
things had needed to play out. I think Armin
Hmm
was a good
It
choice.
it's
Do
not
you
the.
think?
Uh,
I was gonna
I
say, do
was
you
just.
think?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, let me ask. Do
Hold
you
on.
think Levi? Oh,
You got a
so
little
y'all, do
dog
you
running
think
around.
Levi knew that? Yeah. When do you think Levi knew that when he did it, or you think it was more of a plot armor thing? Like the way it went. Do you think
Yeah.
Levi just thought about all of that, or do you think it was more of like a plot armor thing?
I don't know the way they can get into your head and influence you. Who knows if that was Levi's free choice to just let that happen like it
But
did.
they can't get
Well,
into
they
his
can't
head
do
because
the
he's an
Armin back.
Ackerman. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
they got into Mikasa. They was able to get into Mikasa's head, and
she a half breed. That's
she had
why
the headaches and stuff.
she a
I
half.
don't know.
She a half.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, because she is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
yeah. So that's
She
why.
still couldn't turn into a Titan, but she could be peeked in
Yeah.
on.
peep in.
But yeah, him being pure blooded. I just think it was more of like a plot armor thing. I don't know if Levi was thinking about it like to that
Because Levi
extent.
wouldn't. If he was in his right mind, he would say, "No, my leader. No, he got to get the saved. I don't care what none of y'all saying."
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody kind of had their options took away when he himself stopped them. Like,
Yeah,
what you doing? Like, don't do
yeah.
that. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Yeah.
But
So
I would have liked
what
to see
about
him.
you, Twan? Do you think it was more of like a plot armor reason, or do you think Levi like had some undercover reason for doing it?
No,
So
I
it's
just think
like,
he had. I just think he had. We talking about his decision to give it to Armin.
mm-hmm,
Well, yeah, I just think it was. I feel like he would have fought to the end to give it to Erwin because I
mm,
mean
Yeah.
that's his like. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's like his idol. That's the person that he looks up to, who he trusts to guide him. But
He
I think
respected his
with him
choices.
respecting his wishes, yeah,
Yeah.
and being like there's something that he obviously sees in this guy, and it's not like we don't got evidence that he can be an amazing, um, strategist. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it at all. I wasn't ready for him to go yet.
And look at
yeah,
the after result, because all that stuff they advancements was due to Armin's tactics and whatnot. He was
Yeah,
planning all
yeah.
that
He
stuff out.
fully.
definitely was. They needed him to be alive.
Yeah,
It's like, look, he done got burnt up one time, honey. We need to
Hmm.
do
yeah.
something so that he
We need
can't.
new eyes and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got to make sure he make it. We can't
Yeah,
be having
because
him
that
die like
was
that.
right behind that feat of just only two people taking down that colossal titan. Behind that alone, that deserves recognition
right.
Yeah.
because it would have been over. So yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on you, buddy. I just didn't want my guy to go.
You
Right.
just weren't ready to let go. Everything has to
Mm-mm.
be let
It could have
go.
been anybody. They always do that though. When it's like somebody's hurt and you like, okay, this is obviously what's gonna happen. They're gonna throw a
Hmm.
monkey wrench in that motherfucker. Now you got to
Right.
decide
When
between
when
this
when
person and
Flock
that.
showed up with him on his
Like,
back, I'm
man,
like, let him
come
get on.
on. What the hell?
About something if you don't
Because
get
before
your
then, I was like, okay, cool, they can give it to Armin, no problem. But that was before I had a choice. So I was like, what
It
are
Oh,
you
still
see,
doing
they
is
they
what
showing
it
got
up?
be.
you. See, they got your hopes up just to
Man.
crush them, right? That's
Yeah,
sad.
yeah,
I'm
that's what they
sorry you
do.
had to go through that.
That's all right.
So we're at like an hour and 30 minutes. So any closing thoughts? This is a great discussion. We could probably talk about Attack on Titan all day.
No,
It's
really good.
amazing. But any closing thoughts? I'm gonna let Trash Can Waves go first since you're our guest, and then we'll close out together. But
I just think it's a great anime. You know, it makes me think of when they kill off main characters like that so they can focus on the underdog. It makes me think of it was another anime out when they wore these big glasses and they all rode around the robots and shit, and he had to kill it. The big brother had to die off in order for the little brother to take charge in the rest of the anime.
Why
So
am I not getting this?
I'm
it's
like, what is it
What
called.
talking
anime is
about?
I'm
this?
trying to think of what his. It's been a while since I saw it, but he was always talking about you got to be a man. To be a man, you got to use your guts and all that and stuff like that. And
Oh,
they
never
was
heard of it.
fighting. Yeah, they had all these robots and stuff.
But it's a mecha anime,
It's
definitely
a
though.
mecha.
It sounds
It's a
like a
mecha
method.
anime.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
had to kill. In a lot of animes they had to kill off like one of the big characters that's taking your focus all the time, and
Hmm.
you thinking they gonna be the hero, but they need you to focus on this other person. So
As a
I can
and it's
understand
a
why they do it.
hero's driving force too.
I
But
did not like how they killed Big Sis off though, because I feel she should have got a little more screen time than what they gave her. And they
who?
killed her off as soon as the one who shoot the arrows and eat all the potatoes and
Oh,
shit like that.
Sasha,
Oh, Sasha.
Tasha,
potato
yeah.
girl.
I wanted to see
Yeah,
the relationship that she was having and all that, but they just knocked her off right quick.
they said we gave y'all
Got to
that
go.
one badass episode with the Titan
Yeah,
attacking the girl. Y'all good.
with the arrows and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. I'm glad it's a good show. I think we all agree it's a masterpiece, especially now
Mhm.
seeing how it ended. I definitely will be recommending Attack on Titan to people. It is a little disturbing. If
yeah.
you're an empathetic person like me, it's a little hard on the
Mhm.
psyche to watch, but I think it's worth powering through. It's such a beautiful story.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming up here with us, Trash Can Ways, and talking about it. You
Absolutely.
definitely added a
Oh,
lot to
no
the
problem.
convo.
It's a pleasure. It's a
So,
pleasure. Do this more often.
well, good. Yes, we'll be having a show. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. This is that part where we do that, but I'll let you go before we
Mhm.
start wondering what we're gonna talk about next week.
All right.
See
Salute
you.
to
Thank
y'all.
you.
All right, man.
Yeah. So, what are your final thoughts about Attack on Titan before we start brainstorming?
Like you though, it's always been one of my number one recommendations when people like either because you got to be careful with people just getting into anime sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
definitely it's like Death Note, um, Attack on Titan. Those are some of the ones that like I just immediately tell people about because I know it's ones that they can just get lost in from episode one. You know,
Right.
so yeah, like I'm so happy I got to live through the era of Attack on Titan as it was airing.
It's
And
like, yeah, it just changed the game in a
no,
lot of
really
ways.
though, it sets your standards a little different for your anime. Once you see a good collection of some good ones, you start looking at other ones like I'm not about to waste my time on this one.
Yeah, you be like, and that's why I
What's the
love
proper
like you know how I always say I'm not a shonen person anymore. I'm like a saying in person. It's because of stuff like this. I mean, just the full
time? Hmm.
potential of like what you can show through this media, like animation and
Right?
anime. It's just like, yes, push it to the limits and storytelling and emotion and action.
Yeah,
Like, and Attack on Titan does all of that. That's why I will be forever singing Satan's praises. Like,
yeah,
it's just an amazing genre.
all day, all day.
Even though they say this is shonen, I'm like, Attack on Titan is not shonen.
Me and Ashley was talking about that last night. We was talking about the show coming up today, and she was
Yeah.
asking me, "So what's Attack on Titan?" I was like, "I mean, it got its tendencies,
I was like,
but
yeah, because shonen is typically for younger boys, and it's just
hmm
like, I wouldn't say this is shonen. I know they foul it in it, but I this definitely has Satan themes. Like a
yeah,
kid cannot understand Aaron's path of logic or
hmm
reasoning or
like really have it
the
sink
type
in
of
and mean something."
yeah, or like the type of love he's displaying. Like that's
Hmm.
a very mature level of love,
Right.
you know. So I would say it's Satan, but
But yeah, I
um,
just looking for the next one. Whatever
me too.
Attack on Titan y'all got, recommendations I'll take.
You talking about Gurren Lagann? I was
Oh, was
not
that the
getting
name
Gurren
of it?
Lagann for what you were saying. Yes. I know why he said that, but I'm like, okay, yes. Gurren Lagann was actually really good too, but I was not getting that from what what you was saying. So next week's show, we'll be talking about the new. I don't. Is a new episode coming out today? I heard it wasn't a new episode coming out
I
today.
mean, if it ain't, let me see,
I heard
because
that
I
it was
mean, it
like
would
on
it
a
would
week.
already aired
Yeah,
if it did.
I don't think
I'm
it's
gonna hop on
one
that
this week, but we'll be talking about it next week. And I'm not sure what the topic of discussion will be for next week.
one. Let's
Um,
brainstorm.
I
Let's
know.
figure something else. I feel like let's make sure it's good. Coming up with a
Like, you
last
gotta make
minute.
sure it's good. I
Yeah.
have some like ideas. Okay, do we want it to be lighthearted or like a deep discussion? That's the first question, I guess.
I mean,
Because last time we did the etchy and stuff like that. It was more of a serious
yeah.
one. We played around with the idea of the anime cookout, and we
Oh
played
yeah.
around with the
Yeah. Let's
idea.
do a
I
little
talked.
lighthearted one.
Okay, or we
Let's
could
do
talk about
some fun.
music,
We could talk about
like
music too.
anime and its music relation and why we like anime. You can't be an anime fan and not have an anime music playlist that you listen to.
Right.
So we could do one of those.
Okay. We'll mull it over. We'll mull it over.
Okay, we'll see
Let's
how
think
we
of something
feeling.
by the end of the day.
I kind of want to know what the next episode of Attack on Titan is gonna be about, because, like, you know how sometimes energy wise, like, say it's a like a sad episode or it just like really shocks you, it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna really want to talk about happy things.
I definitely think we ain't gonna get no happy moments for a
You
good little
know, but just
minute.
like completely, he said, "Let's go, balls." Big bro had to die. Google got what I was saying. Big bro had to die. Oh, Gurren yeah.
Let's go,
I don't know what we'll
balls.
talk about. And well, we'll see. Maybe the cookout. That'll be a fun show, though. We could close out with it, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's the tentative one right now. We're gonna do the anime that's invited to the cookout.
Yeah, we'll see, because we could talk about Avatar: Last Airbender. And
oh yeah,
like
actually,
that, on that kind of show. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we'll do that.
All right. Sound like a plan.
Well, thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you for Trash Can Waves for coming up. I stream 3 times a week. I just be completely dropping the ball. I stream 3 times a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sunday, or Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays. And tomorrow we will be talking about Millennium Actress, which is a movie that is free on YouTube. So if you want to watch talk with us about this movie, or just watch a new movie you haven't seen, it gets great reviews. I think it got like a 9 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. So it has really high ratings. I've never seen it. I hear really good things about it. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And then on Thursdays, our Shoujo show, we kind of just keep it light, cute, chill. We're going to be watching My Dressed Up Darling and playing Women of Zal, which is a dating kind of, it's a novel. It's not a dating sim, but you know. And then on Sunday, we'll be having this Otaku Talk show again. And if you like what we do, if you enjoy our content, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you know when we go live. When you feed the algorithm, it knows to send other people like you to my content. So that being said, thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Twan will see you next week. We got to figure out when he's going to eat this natto on air.
I'm actually I'm slick excited, but slick traumatized. We'll see how this turns out.
Oh, we talked about live action. If you want to see that Trash Can Wave, that's on our Cowboy Bebop nostalgia versus the live action. We did go into discussion about live actions and stuff. So if you want to check that out, I'll actually link that in the description since you brought it up. I'll link that one, but you can check that out if you want to see what our thoughts were about that. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and we'll see you. And I'm gonna actually have my song lined up. Bye. Keep it cute.
Bye, y'all.
It was. I got a question.